looking at this blog post by Venkatesh Panyam. He's this amazing physics teacher and co-founder of EdGroom.
Okay.
And he basically says that real connection, like between teachers and students,
Yeah.
it's the key.
The secret weapon.
Exactly. To unlocking like real success in school, not just, grades and stuff.
Right.
But like deep down real learning,
Absolutely.
And get this, he says it can actually make learning more rigorous too.
Interesting.
So have you ever had a teacher who like totally believed in you?
Oh, yeah.
Like they just saw something in you that maybe you didn't even see yourself?
Totally.
Well, that's kind of what we're digging into today.
Cool. So Venkatesh is really challenging that whole traditional idea of education.
Yeah.
Where it's just, like you said, tests and information.
You're right.
He's saying it needs to be more about, nurturing that spark, that desire to learn.
It's about connection.
Exactly.
He even quotes this amazing line from William Butler Yeats.
Oh, yeah. I love this one.
Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire.
Powerful stuff.
Right. It just paints such a vivid picture,
It really does. It's that difference between just rote memorization and truly grasping a concept.
Yes.
When a teacher can ignite that passion in a student, it's no longer a chore, it's a journey.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Hey, have you ever read a textbook and been like,
Oh.
this is so boring?
Yeah, exactly. But then you talk to someone who's really passionate about the subject,
Oh, yeah.
and they bring it to life.
It's like a totally different experience.
Completely. And Venkatesh also talks about how students kind of mirror the expectations we set for them.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like if a teacher sees potential in you, even if you don't see it yourself,
Right.
you actually start to rise to that challenge.
You start to believe it, too.
Exactly. And there's actual research behind this. It's called the Pygmalion effect.
Really?
Yeah, studies have shown that high expectations from teachers can actually lead to better performance in students.
Wow. Also like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which makes you think, are we as educators setting the bar high enough?
And are we showing our students that we truly believe in them?
It's a big responsibility, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it's not all about the classroom.
Right.
Venkatesh brings up this Nelson Mandela quote that just blew me away.
Oh, I love this one.
He said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.
It's so true. Education has this ripple effect,
Yeah.
It's not just about equipping students with facts and skills, but also inspiring them to love learning.
To become lifelong learners, right?
Exactly. Engaged citizens who want to make a difference.
So it's bigger than just the classroom.
Way bigger. And it changes the role of the teacher, too.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, it moves away from that image of the teacher as just an information giver.
The sage on the stage.
Right. And instead, it's more about being a guide, a mentor.
Because students aren't just empty vessels, right?
Exactly. They each have their own unique perspectives and ways of learning.
So the teacher's job becomes less about lecturing and more about creating that space.
Where students feel safe to ask questions, explore different ideas,
Yeah.
even challenge things.
I like that. It reminds me of something Venkatesh said about different kinds of teachers.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
He said something like, the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
I know, right? It reminds me of my high school history teacher.
What was so special about him?
He brought history to life. He was such a good storyteller. It was like we were right there.
Wow. So he didn't just teach you facts, he made you care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that made all the difference.
That's the power of connection, right?
Yeah.
It creates that environment where students feel supported and encouraged, so they're not afraid to push themselves.
They can take risks and learn from their mistakes.
And develop that growth mindset. It all comes back to connection.
So basically, Venkatesh is saying that human connection isn't just some fluffy extra in education.
Right.
It's actually essential for real academic success and for creating lifelong learners.
It's the foundation. It makes you think, though, if it's so powerful in the classroom,
Yeah.
where else can we apply this? In our workplaces, our communities, even our families.
How can we create those kinds of environments where everyone feels connected and inspired?
That's a great question, something to think about.
Definitely. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, keep those connections strong.
And keep that fire burning.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.